lovies. Today, we're gonna learn about Passover, the Jewish holiday called Passover. But before we start that, let's start our morning circle. Good morning, Boker Tov, good morning, Boker Tov. Boker Tov, Boker, good morning, Boker Tov. Shalom, lovies, Shalom, Morah Lora, Shalom, everyone. I'm so happy we're here together. Who should we say thank you? That's right, God. מודה אני לפניך, מלך חי וקיים, שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. I am thankful as can be that a king as great as he gave my life to me. I'm as thankful as can be. אחד, שתיים, שלוש. Make the letter shin. And where does it go? That's right, on your forehead. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And where's God? That's right, everywhere. Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere. That's where God can be found. Days of the week, days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday Yom Rishon and Monday Yom Sheni. There's Tuesday Yom Shlishi, the days of the week. There's Wednesday Yom Revi'i and Thursday Yom Chamishi. There's Friday Yom Shishi and Saturday Shabbat. Days of the week, days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. Together now, everyone's together now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And what is this called? Silver, purple, silver, purple? That's right, a pattern. Months of the year, months of the year, months of the year. There's January and February, March and April, May and June. The months of the year. There's July and August, September and October, November and December. The months of the year. What month is it that starts with Ma and ends with Arch? March, that's right. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That was a lot of counting, wasn't it? So if yesterday was a Sunday, then today is Good job, Monday. And tomorrow will be Tuesday. Good job. So today is Monday, March 23, 2020. Weather watcher, lovies, please tell me the weather. Tell me the weather. Weather watcher, lovies, please tell me the weather. What's the weather like? I see my windows are wet. What do you think it is? And something is coming down from the sky. And it's cloudy and something is coming out. So what is it? Is it sunny? Is it windy? Is it rainy? That's right, it's rainy. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. These little lovies want to play. Thank you for watering the trees, the grass, and the flowers, but please go away so we could play. Good job. All right, we're learning about Passover, a Jewish holiday called Passover. A long, long time ago, in the land of Egypt, lived a king. His name was Pharaoh. Pharaoh made the Jewish people slaves. He was not a nice king. He was a mean king. He made the Jewish people into slaves. What does it mean to be a slave? A slave means that you have to do whatever your master or boss tells you to do, and you do not get paid for it. So if a master tells you, I need you to go wash the dishes right now, you can't say, no, I don't want to. That's what you have to do. A slave cannot rest whenever he wants. A slave can rest only when his master or boss tells him to do. So it's not fun to be a slave. So King Pharaoh, the mean King Pharaoh, made the Jewish people slaves. And while they worked, they sang, bang, 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 hold your hammer low. Bang, 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 give a mighty blow. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's night. Dig, 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 dig your shovels deep. Dig, 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 there's no time to sleep. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's night. See, he made the Jewish people build pyramids. These are pyramids. It's like a triangle, and it's made out of bricks, and it's a very difficult job. That's what he made the Jewish people do, work very hard. And that's what they did. You see all these bricks? They had to make bricks. Not only did they have to build the pyramid, but they had to make the bricks and then build the pyramid. And a pyramid has a shape of a triangle. And that's what they sang while they worked. Bang, bang, bang. But he was especially mean, you know to whom? To the Jewish babies. Well, one Jewish mother wanted to hide her baby. So she put her baby in a basket and she put him in the Nile River. The Nile River is in Egypt. And while the princess, King Pharaoh's daughter, came to bathe in the river, she heard the baby. She heard a baby cry. So she stretched out her arm and she pulled the basket with the baby out of the river. And she took the baby and she made it into her own little baby. And she became a mommy to him. And she called him Moses. Moses means to pull out of the water. As Moses grew up, he became a shepherd. What does it mean to be a shepherd? A shepherd is somebody who takes care of sheep. See? That's what Moses became. He became a shepherd. And as he was taking care of his sheep one day, guess what he saw? Oh my goodness. He saw a bush on fire, but it wasn't burning. It was on fire, but it wasn't burning. And Moses looked, and all of a sudden he heard a voice coming from a bush. Do you know whose voice it was? God's. And God said, Moses, Moses. And Moses looked around and he said, who is that? Who's talking to me? I don't see anybody. And God said, I am the God of the Jewish people. I want you to go back to Egypt. But before God told him that, he said, Moses, this is a very holy and special place. I want you to take off your shoes because the land you're standing on is very special and very holy. Moses took off his shoes, and then God said to him, I want you to go back to Egypt and tell King Pharaoh, let my Jewish people go. I don't want them to be slaves anymore. So Moses went back to Egypt And he told King Pharaoh, "Oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, oh, listen. Please let my people go. They work too hard all day. They want to go away." King Pharaoh, King Pharaoh, what do you say? What do you think King Pharaoh said? Do you think he said yes? He said no. No, no, no. I will not let them go. No, no, no. I will not let them go. So Moses went back to speak to God. And God said, "Tell King Pharaoh that if he does not let my Jewish people go, I am going to punish him." So King Pharaoh said, "I'm not afraid of your hocus pocus." Well, guess what? The first punishment was, look at this, blood. The water turned into blood. But the Jewish people had water. Only the Egyptians did not have water. As they were drinking or taking a bath or swimming, their water turned into blood. But the Jewish people had water. The second punishment was, what are these things, guys? What is that? That's right. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs on his bed and frogs on his head. Ah! Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frog there. Frogs were jumping everywhere. King Pharaoh was so scared, but he said, "I'm not afraid of your hocus pocus." The third punishment was lice. Lice are those tiny little bugs on your head and on your skin, and they went, okay, Moses, I will let the Jewish people go, said King Pharaoh. But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The fourth punishment was wild beasts. They came roaring, lions and tigers and bears, very wild beasts, and they went into the Egyptians' homes, and they were scared and said, "Pharaoh, Pharaoh, please let the Jewish people go. We're scared." But as soon as the punishment was over, King Pharaoh changed his mind, just like that. The fifth punishment was sick animals, sick cows, sick goats, sick sheep. And if the animals are sick, then you can't get milk, and you can't make macaroni and cheese, and you can't make ice cream, and you can't make yogurt and cheese and milk and all kinds of things. It was sick animals. All the animals went moo. Moo, we're so sick. The sixth punishment was blisters on their skin. Painful blisters. They couldn't sit on their tushies. They couldn't lean on their elbows. They couldn't lie down on their back. They couldn't stand on their feet. They had blisters all over their skin. And every time after each punishment, King Pharaoh would say, "Moses, Moses, okay, I'm gonna let the Jewish people go. Please, 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 stop the punishment." But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The seventh punishment was hail. Big, humongous balls of ice came falling from the sky. And when it hit their head, they went, "Ow! Ow! Oh! Ow! Ooh! Okay. Moses, I promise you, I will let the Jewish people go. Please, please stop the punishment." But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The eighth punishment was locusts. Big, humongous bugs came and they ate all the food. They ate the strawberries and the wheat and the blueberries and the grapes. They ate all the food that was growing. And then the Egyptians had no food to eat. And every time, after each punishment, King Pharaoh said to Moses, Moses, this time, seriously, pinky promise, I really promise you, I will stop. I will let the Jewish people go. But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The ninth punishment was darkness. They couldn't see anything. Everything was dark. They said, hey, where's everybody? Wait a minute. What is this? Oh, that's me. Wait a minute. Who are you? They couldn't see. It was very dark, and it lasted for 3 days. And King Pharaoh ran to Moses, and he said, Moses, this time, seriously, I promise you, I will let the Jewish people go. But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. Then, the 10th punishment and the last punishment, it was all the Egyptian babies. God took all the babies away. He said, you took my Jewish babies? I'm going to take your babies. All the mommies cried and they said, I want my baby back. Please give me my baby. I want my baby back. And they said, Pharaoh, stop it. Let the Jewish people go. We don't want them in here. But King Pharaoh this time ran to Moses and he said, Moses, get out of here quickly before I change my mind, just like that. The Jewish people had no time to bake bread. They ran out of Egypt as quickly as they could. And they were baking bread, but they didn't have time for the dough to rise and make it into bread. So they put the dough on their shoulders and they left out quickly. No time to linger, get out of bed. Tie up your blanket, put on your sandals. Hold sister's hand, tie up the blanket, hold sister's hand. Let's follow Moses to the promised land. Out, out of Egypt to be free. Out, out of Egypt to be free. So the Jewish people left Egypt very quickly. They had no time. They had no time to make bread. And the sun, the hot sun, turned the bread into a flat cracker called matzah. And after that, God said, I want you to celebrate Passover. When they came to the ocean, to the Sea of Reeds, they had nowhere to run. Behind them, the Egyptians changed their minds again. They didn't want to let the Jewish people go. So they came to the Sea of Reeds. And God said, what's the problem? Go. As soon as they started going into the ocean, the sea split for them and they had to pass on dry lands. And that's how the Jewish people after that celebrate Passover. And these are the symbols on our Passover Seder plate. We have the oval egg. We have the shank bone because God took us out of Egypt with a strong hand. We have charoset. We have all kinds of symbols. We'll talk more about these symbols, okay? Right now, Morah Lora wants to show you that there are 2 pages that I want you to color. We're going to start making a Passover booklet. So the first page is, it says, I see a Passover book. See, I want you to color this page as pretty as you can. But before you color this page, you need to write your name. Good job. So these 2 pages, I want you to color. It says a Passover book, and then it says matzah, matzah. What do you see? Because we eat matzah on Passover, right? A flat cracker called matzah, because we didn't have time to bake bread. The Jewish people had to leave in a hurry. They didn't have time to do anything. They were just wearing the clothes that they were wearing. They took the dough quickly and put it on their shoulders, and the hot sun turned it into matzah, flat cracker. So these are the 2 pages I want you to color. Please do not throw them away. Save them, put them in your book bag. And when you come to school, Morah Lora needs these pages. But make sure you write your name, okay? Then we're going to do some paperwork. The first paper. What do you do first? Morah Lora feels purple today. Look, Morah Lora is wearing purple. So I have a purple crayon. You write your name. Then you turn the page over. And you need to match. In each group, there is a certain number of balloons. You need to count the balloons and see where they go. How many balloons are here? That's right, 1. So do I put it to here? Do I put it to here? Or do I put it to here? Where do you think it goes? To 1, 2, or 3? That's right, to number 1. How many balloons are here? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Does it go to the number 2 or does it go to the number 3? Very good, to number 3. How many balloons are over here? 1, 2. Should I put it to number 3? Should I put it to number 2? Very good, number 2. Then the next paper. Oopsie daisy. The next paper. What kind of a book Morah Lora loves the most? That's right, a rhyming book. So today we're going to do a rhyming paper. Things that rhyme. This is a toy that twirls, a toy. The end sound, like oi, you need to find 2 words that sound the same. Oi, that end with oi, same sound. Is it toy clown? Is it toy and boy? Is it toy and bear? Is it toy and mouse? Or is it toy and boy? Do they sound the same? Yes, toy and boy, right? They sound the same. Those are called rhyming words. Crown, clown, crown, bear, or crown, mouse? Crown, clown. Those are rhyming words. Crown, clown. 2 words that end in the same sound. So that's rhyming words. This is a house. House, bear, or house, mouse? Good job. House, mouse. They sound the same, right? House, mouse. Then it's chair. Chair, mouse, or chair, bear? Good job. Chair, bear. So you make a line. Chair, bear, house, mouse, crown, clown, toy, boy. These are called rhyming words. Good job, guys. Morah Lora is going to read you a story called The Littlest Frog. A little frog sat in the hot Egyptian sun, watching Jewish slaves work while Pharaoh had fun. Moses, their leader, warned evil Pharaoh, "Bad things will happen if you don't let us go. I'm the great Pharaoh, and nothing scares me. The Jewish people will stay. They will never be free." See, he was mean. He didn't want the Jewish people to let go of the Jewish people. He wanted them to be slaves. The very next morning, when Pharaoh arose, he found a big frog sitting right on his nose. "Pyramids!" he yelled as he jumped up in fright. There were frogs to his left and frogs to his right. He grabbed for his sandals, and to his surprise, sitting there was a frog with big, bulgy eyes. Look at him. See? Looking at him. Do you think it scared him? It would scare me. "Oh no!"
he exclaimed as he pulled on his gown. There was a bullfrog wearing his crown. Look at that bullfrog wearing his crown. King Pharaoh was not happy. There were frogs in all sizes hopping about. The biggest ones made Pharaoh tremble and shout. But the littlest frog was very afraid. He hid under the bed, and that's where he stayed. He was scared. The littlest frog was very scared. Pharaoh ran to his bath and grabbed a large towel, but when he got there, he let out a howl. Ah! There in the bath, frogs were taking a swim, doing the backstroke and staring at him. Look at all the frogs taking a bath instead of King Pharaoh. Isn't that funny? I think that's funny. He fled to the kitchen and opened the door. There were frogs on the table, frogs on the floor. Oh, such a sight Pharaoh never had seen. Wherever he looked, he only saw green. Why do you think he saw green? What are the green things? That's right, frogs. He saw frogs. Do you think he was happy about it? He sped through the palace and let out a groan. There were frogs on his scepter and frogs on his throne. There were frogs on the curtains and in the fruit bowls. There were frogs peeking out from papyrus scrolls. He saw frogs on the ceiling and frogs on the wall. He saw frogs in each room and down every hole. There were frogs everywhere. Frogs everywhere. Pharaoh ran quickly and picked up a broom. I'll get rid of those things. I will sweep every room. I'm the great Pharaoh and nothing scares me. I will get rid of you all. Just wait and you'll see. The littlest frog was very afraid. He lay under the bed, and that's where he stayed. He was very scared, the little frog. What do you think is going to happen to him? Let's find out. Pharaoh checked every basket and shook out each bag. He looked in the urns and emptied each jug. Wherever he looked, frogs were hopping and leaping. Pharaoh snarled at them all and continued his sweeping. As he swept one last frog from the top of the shelf, Pharaoh felt happy and pleased with himself. He thought he got rid of all the frogs, right? Let's look. Uh-oh. Are there any frogs hiding? Who is hiding? The littlest frog, that's right. I got rid of you all, he gleefully cried. There is nowhere left for you frogs to hide. The littlest frog was very afraid. He lay under the bed, and that's where he stayed. Pharaoh shut every door and felt very proud. In hieroglyphs he wrote, "No frogs allowed." Hieroglyphs are pictures that tell a story. You see, these are called hieroglyphs. And look, he made a hieroglyph, a picture that says, "No frogs." Do you think there's no frogs anymore? Let's find out. Uh-oh. What happened? Are there no more frogs? Remember the littlest frog who was hiding under the bed? What happened? Let's find out. I'm tired, said Pharaoh. And with one final sweep, he crawled into bed and fell fast asleep. When the palace was quiet and peaceful at last, when the shutters were drawn and the doors all shut fast, the littlest frog was no longer afraid. He hopped onto Pharaoh, and that's where he stayed. Look, he jumped on Pharaoh. Now it was safe, so he bellowed a croak. Rabbit, rabbit. And just at that moment, King Pharaoh awoke. He opened his eyes, and what do you think he saw? That's right, the littlest frog. That can be happening. Oh no, this must be a dream. I got rid of you, frogs. Pharaoh began to scream. He arose from his bed with a terrible thought. Can this be what my stubbornness has brought? Perhaps Moses was right. The Jews should be free. Maybe that's why this is happening to me. Remember, King Pharaoh changed his mind. Just like that. Suddenly, Pharaoh was very afraid. He hid under the bed, and that's where he stayed. See, this time who hid? King Pharaoh. The frogs were jumping over there, and King Pharaoh is hiding under the bed. Is this the beginning, the middle, or the end of the book? Good job, the end. And what kind of a book was this? Morah Lora's favorite. That's right, rhyming book. Good job. I love you. You be good listeners for mommies and daddies, okay?